Hallelujah, my gorgeous Sagittarini, hallelujah. Do you know why? Why am I saying this? And why am I so excited when it comes to you and when it comes to July 2023? You have been going on through something really, really dark for a way too long, my gorgeous Sagittarini. Maybe you're not even realizing how much was actually something affecting you. It's like, oh my God. And especially over the last 10 to 11 months, indeed, this was highlighted in your life quite a lot. Do you know what? It's to do with a negative situation that happened to you maybe a year ago, maybe a couple of years ago. And that negative situation that happened to you really left a bad taste in your mouth, bad flavor in your mouth for way too long, without you even realizing. My gorgeous Sagittarini, listen to me very carefully. Without you even realizing, this was affecting you at a crucial time of your life, but especially and very intensely within the last maybe 8 to 9 or 10 months. Within the last 8, 9 to 10 months, within the last 8, 9 to 10 months, you were affected in such a way where subconsciously, on one hand, you couldn't give the full energy and attention to the past, to the spiritual past that you should have been giving more attention and more of your precious energy, which means that this was really affecting your balance. And without you even realizing, it did kind of slow you down. You're only going to realize the full extent how much was this actually negative situation affecting you. And it's a lot to do with your fears. It's a lot to do with negativity caused, this negativity which was caused, through your fears. And this was subconsciously really kind of standing at the back of your mind and always taking over, where you needed to be brave. And when you are brave, this is a very powerful energy, because when you are brave, this in itself, it's really kind of through the power of your intuition, is kind of directing you, nicely and gently. So when you're brave, when you're when you're having an open mind before you do something, already you're standing in front of the door that you are about to open. But when you are brave, with your own bravery, you open this door without any, without too much hesitation. But if there is a bit of a doubt, just a tiny little bit of a doubt, then you need to reconnect with yourself and you need to reconnect with your spirit, and just work on the balance a little bit in order to understand, which priorities you should be really giving your full attention to, because this did actually mess you up and slow you down within the last, let's say 10 months, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And I know this is gonna sound crazy. But you're not going to realize the extent of how much was this affecting you. How much was this actually affecting you? And for how long this was actually affecting you. Only at around the 10th of July already. At around the 10th of July, this is absolutely brilliant. It is going to be this message, this information that you are going to have, that is going to, oh my God, it's going to make you feel so good. This is on one hand, you're really going to come completely out of the blue. It's really going to surprise you. But it's all going to start with this message and information that you are going to have on the 10th or at around the 10th of July 2023. And it's gonna really kind of throw you out of balance. You're gonna like this information, you're gonna like this message, but you're really gonna be surprised that something has come to an end. That something bad and something negative has come to an end, because you thought that this is actually never going to end. You thought that this is actually never going to stop. So this is really going to naturally surprise you. And having the number 100, when it comes to the actual numerology, it's oh my God, it means that you are going to find yourself in two minds, in two worlds. You're going to find yourself being a little bit indecisive, but it's all going gonna happen so completely surprisingly. You know, it's all gonna happen completely out of the blue. And yes, I can use the word, the actual spontaneously. And when something happens spontaneously, I told you before, it's like the best way for us to respond, because when something happens spontaneously, we don't have a time to think, we don't have time to prepare. And this is where that gorgeous little inner voice comes through, comes forward, and it guides you with what you think that you should do at that moment in time, without overthinking and without preparing yourself. And this is when things become the most magical in our lives indeed. So when it comes to numerology and when it comes to number 100, you are reaching an absolutely mind-blowing point, mind-blowing part of your spiritual journey. You are not only going to achieve something like really, really great by the end of July, but you're also going to find yourself on the path that you did not even know that you could ever kind of like find yourself on the path like this, let alone how much of a passion you're gonna feel towards something within the last 7 days of July. You are gonna discover a new passion, and you're also gonna discover something so special and so significant about yourself. This is going to become a very colorful time of your life, my gorgeous Sagittarini, but it's also clearly going to show you how powerful and how strong, how powerful, how strong you actually, and how smart and clever you actually are, because all this is going to be the direct result of you being yourself and you being who you are and you allowing yourself to be yourself. It is all going to make sense indeed. So going back to the you at around the 10th of July, like finding out this something really bad is gonna come to an end, really negative, this is gonna be such a beautiful moment. And as I said, it's about you finding yourself like completely spontaneously, because this is something that you did not expect whatsoever, but it is gonna be needed from you to make a certain move, if you understand what I mean, because you are finding yourself at such an interesting phase of your life. So you're gonna find yourself being indecisive, and then when you find yourself indecisive, you need to think about what do you want to do to make you happy, what's missing in your life, what would you like to achieve in your life, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what do you want to do, what you don't want to do. What you need to focus is you focus on the bigger picture and the focus on how you want your future to be and how you're living your life right now, and what do you need to bring into your life, or what do you need to start right now, because it's all about when you find yourself indecisive, what you need to do is you need to work towards the path that is going to bring you happiness when it comes to your home, when it comes to your environment, when it comes to your life that you live on daily basis. And at the same time, when you find yourself indecisive, you have to follow your passion. You have to follow your passion no matter what this is. No matter who you are, no matter what you are doing in your life at this moment, and no matter what you are finding passionate, maybe you basically just need to, maybe I should have said, when you find yourself indecisive after the 10th of July, when you find yourself indecisive, after the 10th of July, what you need to do is just follow your passion, because it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. It is going to come to you, and it's gonna come to you in a form of a passion. That's how I should have said it. And as soon as you realize this, what this is, my gorgeous Sagittarini, this in itself, it's also going to give you such an interesting idea, and it's to do with your passion. And it really depends where you are, what you do, what you are trying to focus on, and what you're trying to achieve in your life. It doesn't matter how old you are whatsoever. Just focus on your passion, and you are going to realize exactly, and even more so within the next few days, as soon as you realize this about your passion, and what that is, and what do you want to do, and what naturally would be the step for you to do after this moment in time, you are going to have this interesting idea, very, very interesting and very, very important, mind-blowing idea. You need to understand that this is not only an idea. This is not only an idea. This in itself is a bit more than just idea. On one hand, this is completely connected to your soul, to your destiny, destination, destiny. But then on another hand, it's also to do with a clear pathway being provided, clear direction being provided for you then and there. And this in itself, it's going to be the direct result of karma. This in itself, it's going to be like a direct product of your own karma, and everything negative and bad that you have been through, now it's just to kind of flip over. Now the worst you've had within the last year, for example, the more frustrated you felt, the more happy and more excited you're going to feel. So it's not only about an idea, but you need to understand it's the actual clear direction which is going to be provided at that moment in time. Absolutely remarkable, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And look, when I shuffle these cards, for example, which ones I'm going to take here. When I shuffle these cards, for example, my gorgeous Sagittarini, look, I will show you, they're all mixed up now, When I shuffle these cards, okay, when I shuffle these tarot cards, and there you go, Page of Swords. This is absolutely brilliant, and it's again surprise, surprise, absolutely surprise, surprise. Not, do you know what, Page of Swords. So it's all about you thinking of something, it's all about you realizing something, it's all about you having this mind-blowing idea. And remember what I told you before, you know, that you are going to have this idea, and as soon as you have this idea, this is the clear direction which is going to be provided to you, my gorgeous Sagittarini. Indeed, you do need to understand the importance of this, because this in itself, it's not only going to change your life, but it's also going to provide an absolutely mind-blowing and crucial shortcut towards you feeling so much more happy on daily basis and making absolutely the most out of this life and the most out of this spiritual journey, indeed. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what else I was going to say to you and what else I was going to recommend you would be, of course, what I normally mention is to keep on, please, taking natural vitamin D3, which is going to boost your immune system, and it's going to be really superb for your sensitive bones, alongside natural zinc picolinate. Zinc picolinate and natural vitamin D3 are going to be brilliant. It's a brilliant combination together in order to boost your immune system, indeed, but it's also brilliant for skin, hair, and nails. And the third thing that I would highly suggest you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, would be organic chlorella. It's a mind-blowing natural supplement which is indeed full in protein, and it's rich in essential omega-3 essential fatty acids which our body cannot produce by itself, but it's super essential for our mind, for our brain, for our memory, for concentration levels, for our mood and things like that. And it's also fantastic when it comes to detoxifying our body from the dangerous metals. These are my supplements that are without any unnecessary chemicals, any horrible ingredients, any vile ingredients, any fillers whatsoever, and they are suitable for vegetarians and vegans. These are clean vitamins that are made by me, and they are at the same time on a half price sale, so make the most of them. So this is zinc picolinate, my gorgeous Sagittarini. This is vitamin D3, and here is organic chlorella. If you would like to buy these vitamins, which I highly suggest because they are really good quality, then you can just click on the name of this video and it's going to expand and you will see these vitamins, or you simply go on Google, and just and just type in Sasha Bonasin vitamins and you will see my page coming up that way. What else I need to say is, if you are on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP. Only they can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now I'm going to talk about this month, how remarkable this month is going to be, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and how many things are going to happen to you. Already on the 1st of July, you're going to have such a beautiful experience. On the 1st of July, you're going to have a beautiful experience. And you know how you're going to feel. You're going to feel like on one hand that you are missing out on so many things in life. You know, this is good. This is good. Something is going to shake you up, you know. But then on another hand, you know, this beautiful experience that you are going to have, it's really at the same time going to be such a moment in time where you're going to realize, you will know from the beginning of July that things are going to be different, you know, and you are going to feel kind of really good. You are going to feel really positive. You are going to feel very light in terms of energy. And that means that, you know, there are going to be so many ideas that you're going to have on the very 1st of July. So many realizations you're actually going to have on the very 1st of July. And pay attention to this very unusual news that you are going to hear on the 1st of July. They're not going to make sense. This unusual news that you are going to hear, they will have nothing to do with your life whatsoever, but it is going to catch your attention, you know. And then later on, towards the end of the month, you will understand what this news meant. And that in itself means that at around the end of the month, you are just going to become aware of something really crazy that you cannot believe it's actually going on, it's happening. And then in itself, when you become aware of something so crazy, first of all, you're not going to be able to believe that this is happening, but then at the same time, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you have to go initially with your first thought, you know, what do you need to do in order to kind of protect yourself type of thing, you know. So you just have to go with your, it's so important to mention that you need to go with your first kind of thought. You need to go with your intuition, and you must not allow yourself to overanalyze, and you must not allow anybody else to tell you what to do when it comes to this specific thing. This needs to come from you, and I'm telling you, the right thing is going to come to you at around the end of July, but it's going to come in a form of like a first thought, you know, that you just kind of need to understand that if you go kind of to think about it deeper, then you are going to kind of like not going to make the right decision. So this strictly needs to come from you indeed. And no matter who tells you, no matter who you talk to, somebody really important or something like that, no matter what their opinion is, no baby, no. This is your life, this is your spiritual journey, and you live your life and you live your spiritual journey in your, you know, according to your own way. And that's exactly how it should be. I've said this before, you need to follow your own light, my gorgeous Sagittarini. By following your own light, you're not going to get lost, no matter how messy and how weird and how strange things sometimes can be. By following your own light, you're not going to get lost. You will be traveling slowly but surely towards your own destination, opposed to following the light from like a people who you don't even know, who you don't even understand, from the people who don't even know you or understand you. Why would you do that? Yet again, I'm gonna say to you, just remember throughout the month of July, do not give your power away. And you very easily give your power away. Not just you, but people in general very easily give their power away because they think that somebody else's like opinion is better than their own opinion. Even if you have got a wrong opinion about something, there is a reason for it that you have a wrong opinion about something. That in itself means that you need to go over the specific situation until you fully understand. And what do I mean by this? Until your spirit understands, until your soul understands. Because this is all what's important. Our spirit and our soul, and us reflecting on it as much as we possibly can. So, you know, you can't, the bottom line is, what am I trying to say here, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that you can't get things wrong. You know, you can't get things wrong if you do it like this. And even if you go for the choice or an opportunity or an option that it wasn't right at the time, as long as it comes from you, you're going to be absolutely fine. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you know, you need to, again, I'm saying this again, that, you know, it's so important, and I know I've mentioned this before, but there is somebody who is like in your life, the younger person or maybe younger spirit, and there is something going on in that person's life, because that particular younger spirit in your life, it's maybe being just a little bit misled. Maybe this is your child, maybe this is the younger member of the family, maybe this is the younger friend that you have, but it's somebody who like goes very often to some kind of location or some kind of destination which is away from home, and then they return. Somebody who travels quite often, and somebody who travels quite often basically, and this is the part of their everyday life type of thing. But then at the same time, that particular person is a younger person, a younger spirit, who is going through some kind of something very personal at the moment, and they're not being themselves, and you are playing a really big role in that person's lives, and that person didn't tell you. You don't know what is going on in this person's life because they didn't tell you. But then again, at the same time, bless that person's heart. It's almost as if that person is trying to do something to prove their point, not to you but to themselves. But then again, they have found themselves like at a really kind of at the wrong waters, if I can say like this, at the wrong waters, you know, I've just made that up, you know, but they've just found themselves surrounded by the people who are not really good, and the people who are using other people. But it's not only about that, it's more about that younger person. It's almost like kind of trying to do something that, oh my god, if you find out what they're trying to do, you would not like this whatsoever. The reason why am I saying this to you, I don't mean to scare you or anything bad or negative. The things are going to turn out to be okay, but somehow you must not confront that younger person about it. But as soon as you notice something unusual, all you need to do is just start some kind of conversation, and then see how this is going to evolve, this conversation, because it's just about that person getting this sense of security from you to start with. Not that you know that needs to happen, but it's more about like doing things in the right way without like kind of scaring person or making that person feeling anxious. You just need to kind of think how you're gonna approach this. But anyway, so all you need to do is just talk, and I can tell you can talk about the skies and like about like flowers or whatever, and I can tell you that the conversation is going to end up about something very strange, very unusual, and you are the one who knows exactly what to do at this point, because it is to do with a certain experience that you've shared, that you're sharing. You will realize this is some kind of experience that you share from a long time ago, and this is why you couldn't have been like a better person to speak to this person about it whatsoever. It's so important because karmically this is gonna get back to you in so many different ways, but it's again to do with somebody who is connected to your life, and it means to you so much. So of course that you're actually going to be enjoying this. You know what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Sagittarius? When it comes to the actual 7th of July, I mean, this is brilliant, and it doesn't surprise me that this is going to be such a powerful day and such a powerful number, the 7th of July, okay? Because now this is the 7th month of the year, and now we are having the 7th of July, so now you're slowly but surely having number 77. Number 77 and number 777 are both very powerful combinations of numbers, and they're both extremely spiritual, they're both extremely angelic, and they're also at the same time brings this absolutely powerful frequency up, especially when it comes to 7 on the 7th of July. So it's July 77, so the frequency on this particular day is going to be completely different, very complex. You're going to feel, but at the same time you are going to be able to like kind of think in a slightly different way, and you're going to find yourself being extremely sharp when it comes to your mind. I'm not saying that you're not sharp normally, because you're Sagittarini, you're always sharp, but now you're going to be even more sharper than you normally are. And this is what this vibration is going to do. And that means that in terms of thinking, in terms of the ideas, and in terms of realizations, you're going to surprise yourself how far you will actually go. So this is why this is so important, because it's going to open you up spiritually, and this is all it matters. So what is actually going to happen on the 7th of July, my gorgeous Sagittarini? Where on the 7th of July, you are going to become aware of this, you're going to become aware of these opportunities. This is what this energy is going to bring to you. You will become aware of the opportunities. Not that you didn't know that these opportunities existed before, but now for some reason, there is a news that you are going to have. There is some kind of information that you are going to have first, which is going to make you feel really good. And that information is going to explain absolutely everything, especially, you know, this is going to not explain, but it's going to, this is when you kind of going to realize this, that, you know, you are going to have opportunities. So it's a one particular message and information. It's going to put a big smile on your face, because you will know, oh my God, I'm going to have these opportunities, and you are going to feel so happy. You're going to feel so excited, my gorgeous Sagittarini. You really are. I can see that you're going to feel so happy, because these opportunities are really going to mean to you so much, because you've been waiting for them for so long, forever. You've been waiting for these opportunities for absolute ages, and this is why you're going to be so happy. And the fact that this is happening on the actual 7th of July, it's like, oh my God, it's going to be even more like inspirational. But the problem is, as soon as you be, so first of all, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I want to celebrate, I'm so happy. Only this in itself is bringing such a powerful and harmonious energy back into your life, because now you will be able to focus on things that really matter to you, and the things that are the most important to you. But then again, the problem, of course, so it's all gonna start like, yeah baby, fantastic, excited, I want to celebrate. And then you're gonna realize, oh my God, then you're gonna start like kind of like maybe a little bit overthinking, and you are going to kind of run into this challenge. And this challenge that you're going to run into, it's only because you are maybe going to become you're going to realize that, you know, you are down on the line gonna need to talk to people who you don't want to talk to. You're gonna need to meet up with the people who you don't want to meet up with, and you're gonna need to do for a while what you don't want to do. But this is important, you know, and almost as if like you're also going to become aware of like some kind of competition later on. But sadly, this is going to be involving things and people that you don't want to do. And this is why the things are immediately and instantly going to sadly bring you down, because you're going to find this extremely challenging, because you're going to feel, oh God, hopeless again. You're gonna oh my God, you're gonna feel hopeless, and then you're gonna worry. It doesn't matter, Sagittarini, it's gonna turn out to be brilliant. Okay, so you're gonna find yourself hopeless, you're gonna kind of worry a lot, and see what is going to happen within the next few days. You know, you are really going to, someone is gonna influence you so beautifully. Within the next few days, somebody is going to inspire you so beautifully, and this person who is going to influence you, who is going to inspire you, it's really kind of, on one hand, going to reflect on you, on your own willpower. You're gonna feel so powerful, but also on another hand, you're gonna understand how to kind of, and now at that moment in time, this in itself, it's all you needed in order to get this control back. And that in itself, it's going to open your eyes, and it's also at the same time going to bring a clarity into your life. On one hand, you will know it's time to stand firm. On another hand, you're also going to know what to be cautious of at the same time. But the bottom line is that this in itself is strictly connected to your destiny, and it's also going to lead towards you discovering something so beautiful about yourself. You through all this, you're going to discover something so beautiful about yourself, that you're going to discover an amazing ability, but at the same time, you're also going to discover, for example, like how much you want to change your life. You're gonna discover and realize what exactly do you need to do to bring the maximum stability and security, but also it is just, you know, this is all gonna lead towards you, you know, feeling such an important impact on your life. And that in itself, it's really gonna kind of help you to understand how important this is for you to do. You know, so that's the bottom line, really. This is all going to kind of help you to understand how important this is for you to do. Because if you don't do this, if you don't go for that opportunity, you know, you're just wasting your life. You're not doing what you need to do. And because it's so important to you and it's connected to your soul purpose, this particular opportunity, you know, this is going to be bouncing back until you take it on. So it's all going to lead towards you understanding on one hand how important this is to you, but also understanding what a change this is going to bring into your life, what an impact this is going to bring into your life. Because that particular person who's going to inspire you, there is so much more going to be that person to that person as well. When it comes to you kind of understanding and realizing how you want your life to be, you know. So this is going to help you to see the bigger picture, and it's going to be ridiculously important indeed. Another thing I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is absolutely gorgeous, a beautiful blue tiger's eye. Look how gorgeous this is, absolutely stunning. And the reason why I'm suggesting you blue tiger's eye, it's because a lot is going to be happening, you know, in July. It's like, oh my God. And especially when it comes to career, finances, you know, and good luck. Blue tiger's eye has the ability to attract the good luck, especially when it comes to career, finances, and when we are making a really important decisions. It also has a power and the ability to like really protect us from the negative energy and from an evil eye. Just remember that sometimes people can have this such a huge amount of negative energy within them, and their energy is so powerful and so strong that they can only think about us like in a certain negative way, and a lot can come on us, you know. It depends, and sadly sometimes people can do this on purpose. So this is why this is brilliant in order to protect yourself. And on another note, blue tiger's eye is also brilliant when it comes to our third psychic eye, our pineal gland. It has got the power to unlock our third psychic eye, pineal gland, and I told you that this is probably one of the most powerful and most important parts of our body, because it connects us and reconnects us with who we really are. And there is so much more to spirituality than we kind of than lots of people kind of know. There is so much more about the spirituality than people can possibly imagine. So this is why it's brilliant. Anything that has got such an impact on our pineal gland, you know, to actually have, in order to have the full understanding of things around us. We understand things in a slightly different way. We see things from a slightly different angle. What normally scares us, this brings nice little balance. And this fear, it's like kind of, we understand why we are scared of something, and then therefore that helps us to understand which are the necessary steps, you know, around that situation, when we otherwise we would never know this. So this is why I highly suggest you blue tiger's eye, my gorgeous Sagittarini. And if you would like to buy this, the link is in the description below. When it comes to the actual second date that I'm going to be talking about, it's basically going to be on the 17th and the 18th of July. On the 17th and the 18th of July, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you know, it is going to be a little sudden change that you're not necessarily going to like to start with, but this is needed. This is needed. So on the 16th and the 17th, on the 17th and the 18th, sorry, on the 17th and the 18th, sorry, 17th and the 17th and the 18th of July, there is going to be this sudden change that you are going to have. You know, just a kind of like to start with, it's like, oh my God, you know, it's really kind of going to throw you out of balance. But then at that moment in time, it's also kind of going to bring you a sudden insight that, you know, this is for the better. This in itself, it's actually going to show you clearly which part of your life has come to an end. This situation, it's not about how this is going to happen, and it's not going to be maybe pleasant to start with, but very soon, almost immediately, you will fully understand that, you know, this is for the better. Somehow you will understand that this is you know, this is showing you the clear completion, what has come to an end. And now suddenly, first of all, you saw this as a sudden change, and then you know, this threw you out of balance a little bit. But just remember, this is also bringing you a sudden insight, and this sudden insight, it's actually going to be really good for two reasons. On one hand, you will understand about the completion, what has actually come to an end, and then on another hand, what is going to be even more interesting is the actual accomplishment that you're actually going to gain here. You're going to realize, oh my God, the accomplishment that you're actually going to have here. So now you're going to realize that you are already seeing things from a slightly different angle, in a different light. And this is so important, because that in itself, it's ever so needed to clear that inner confusion that actually started initially with this. So you will have a very, very kind of interesting and unusual idea here as well. And this interesting and unusual idea that you are going to have, it's like pretty much so about, you know, it's a lot to do with an expansion, you know, but it's also a lot to do with like what brings peace into your life, you know. So this is also ever so important indeed. So pay attention to this very interesting and unusual idea that you are going to have. And I'm repeating very interesting and unusual because it's going to happen at a time when you would normally, if this would happen normally, everything would kind of unfold towards completely different directions. So that's why a lot is going to seem kind of unusual, and you are going to surprise yourself the way you're going to feel. But this is because you've been the way you're going to feel when you become aware of this sudden change. But this is because you've been prepared for this for a long time. Subconsciously, you've been prepared for this. You've been even dreaming about it, but you weren't aware of it, you see. So it's all there at the back of your subconscious mind. It's all there within your energy. It's all there within your dimensions. This is why this is going to feel different, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And look, let me show you. Here. Okay, let me show you. This is why this is gonna feel so different. Oh God, wait here. Oops, don't fail, please. Can you see that my gorgeous darling, she's on the floor? She likes to be on the floor at the moment, you know. It gets hot, and then the cards, you know, they're just changing. Look, for example, when I'm shuffling these cards, my gorgeous Sagittarini, look, this interesting and unusual idea that you are going to have, you know. Just pay attention to it, because it's going to be so important. You see, this interesting and unusual idea that you are going to have, it's also so significant when it comes to like an important change starting, because that interesting and unusual idea that you're going to have, it's also going to give you like kind of a different, it's going to give you a different perspective on things that have been slowing you down previously, and on things that would kind of put you off and turn you off, that you see. So this is why this is so important. So this means that the process of change is starting, and this is all going to happen completely unexpectedly. And what also you need to understand, listen to me very carefully, what you need to understand, that this is to do with your destiny. This is to do with your destination, destiny. Just remember, this is important. So when it comes to this like kind of interesting and unusual idea, baby, this interesting and unusual idea, it's important for you to do, because it's to do with the wheel of fortune. So it's a lot to do with your destiny. Okay, so this is why this is so significant. And also at around the same time, around the same time. I know this is going to sound crazy, this is going to sound mental, but I strongly advise you to give something to someone at around that time. And you are going to hear at around that time that someone may need some help, and you're going to think, that bastard, I'm not helping that bastard type of thing. It doesn't matter who they are. When you kind of hear about someone needing your help, you're going to need to give something to someone, but instantly you're going to feel very defensive. No, absolutely no way, baby. But then you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this, because this is going to bring a huge amount of energy that you need. But it's also at that moment in time when you do that, when you give something to someone who's going to be on your mind, you will know who this is. You will know who this is. You will know who this is. You know how you're going to be rewarded for this. Intuitively, very shortly after that moment in time, you are going to have this intuitive psychic message, which is going to help you so much. That intuitive psychic message that you're going to have, it's almost as if like you're going to become aware of this like secret, sacred formula. What do you need to do like for the like such a maximum success in your life? You're also going to realize that you are different in a good way, that you are different. So use your difference, you know, as like an advantage. Do you know what I mean? So important. Another thing I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, would be this absolutely gorgeous Sagenite. Sagittarini, Sagenite. Sagenite, absolutely gorgeous. This is, oh my god, so spiritual. This crystal is so spiritual, it's ridiculous. You wear this and you already feel elevated. You know why? Because it helps you to gain better understanding during difficult situations, but it's also like it's fantastic for spiritual self-discovery and the actual self-growth. Okay, so for spiritual self-discovery and self-growth, it's absolutely brilliant. It again elevates you and it helps you to understand so much more. You even dream more, you know, when you're wearing this, but you're also remembering your dreams. You know, when you're meditating and you're wearing this, you know, there is so much, you go so much deeper within yourself, and that in returns helps you to reflect in a completely different ways, you know, to the actual world around you. This gorgeous Sagenite comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. Okay, so now the next Cressida, so cute. The next date that I'm going to be talking about, my gorgeous Sagittarii, it's going to be on the actual 24th and the 25th of July. On the 24th and the 25th of July, there will be this remarkable news that you are going to have. I like this so much, and this information and news that you are going to have here is going to really kind of show you that now something is quickly moving, something is quickly changing, like really quickly. And this in itself, it's also a lot to do with your understanding, like, oh my god, something is manifesting here really quickly. And this is absolutely brilliant. At around that time, some kind of journey is going to be on your mind, which you should definitely do. Whenever you go on that journey, you should go for it. I know that there is going to be some kind of journey on your mind, and that particular journey doesn't even have to do anything with this happening. But I know it sounds crazy, complex, but if there is some kind of journey on your mind, and that journey can be like to do with anything, whether this is business, whether this is pleasure, whether this is something you need to do, it doesn't matter. There is something gonna happen on that journey. When you go to that journey, there is something that you're gonna kind of realize that you need, something that's missing in your life. Okay, so something you're gonna realize something, you know, something that's missing in your life, an important idea that you could have only kind of find and find out through this particular way. I hope this makes sense. But going back to this, like kind of like this information that you're going to have about things moving on, this is brilliant, because now it's going to allow you to make a very important decision. But do not do not kind of like think that, oh yeah, I can do this in 1 month, I can do this in 2 months, I can do this in 7 days. No, baby, no. You need to make this decision now. You literally need to make this decision now. Okay, you need to make a quick decision, and you need to understand that you need to do this now immediately. You know what? Why? Because, you know, listen, when you find out what is moving on, this is really going to show you slowly but surely the priorities are going to change slightly. So you need to give to this like kind of big importance to what is going to start moving on. But you will know how important this is going to be to you, because at the same time you are going to through your personal rebirth. This is a lot to do with your inner calling. You see how important this is going to be. It's a lot to do with your inner calling, and it's a lot to do with a new phase, you know, of your life starting. It's going to lead towards your own awakening, but at the same time, what you need to understand is to follow your creativity, follow what makes you feel good. Your imagination is going to shut up, and that's exactly what you need to follow. But at the same time, just remember to follow your heart. Just follow your heart. It's so important indeed. And you know, now also, like, basically, there is going to be like kind of like some kind of disappointment that you're actually going to have, because when you realize, you know, this like kind of a quick decision that you need to make, something, it's not going to kind of happen fully. There is something that is going to missing. One part of it is going to missing, and you're going to realize, okay, there is something missing, but then again, you know, I just have to accept this, you know, instead of feeling a regret. So the couple of things are not going to be like kind of fully intact when it comes to this, if that makes sense, you know. So it's kind of like you're going to feel excited, you're going to feel happy, but it's almost as if it's not going to come, something is not going to come through fully. And what didn't come through fully, that's that you just need to accept this. This is not part of your destiny. You just need to move on instead of feeling this disappointment or regret. So I'm just going to warn you that you're going to do this. So as soon as you realize this, you're going to get a stability. And as soon as you realize this, you're going to realize that there was also somebody who was manipulating you as well, somehow connected to this regret type of thing. So you are removing from manipulation and somebody who was unnecessarily manipulating you. So this is why this is going to be brilliant. And as soon as you do this, as soon as you realize this, within the next 2 weeks, you are going to find yourself at the beginning of such an interesting project and very creative stage of your life, of your spiritual journey. Absolutely brilliant. So this is bringing such a lovely reward in itself. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, when it comes to the exactly last week also in July, when it comes to the last week in July, you know, it's like you are really going to realize within the last week that you've overcame something so bad, like a really big challenge. And now this is going to allow you to focus, you know, on the bigger picture. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to, you need to realize what is kind of making you emotionally stable. And this as soon as you realize this bigger picture here, when it comes to this like a big challenge, that you're going to realize that you overcame this massive challenge and you're going to feel so pleased with yourself. It's more about you realizing a bigger picture. And as soon as you realize a bigger picture, it's so important for you to like do what makes you emotionally stable. So within the last 7 days of July, just pay attention to what is making you emotionally stable and do that. I know it sounds crazy, but at the same time, when you realize what is, this is all going to boil down to within the last 7 days of July. When you realize what is making you emotionally stable, at that moment in time, you're also going to start the process of healing, and something is going to heal, something that was making you feel so dark and something that was making you feel so tired all the time. And even more so, as soon as you realize what is making you emotionally stable, you are gonna realize like what exactly do you need to do, number one, for long-term success, and number two, what else do you need to contribute. But it's all going to come from this powerful balance which you are going to feel, which is going to come through your emotional stability, which you haven't had in absolute years. No, don't get me wrong, but this level of emotional stability, it's going to feel different. This is bringing a courageous energy into your life, and that in itself, it's like a really clearly showing the beginning of something very, very special here indeed. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationships. Now, for those of you in relationships, when it comes to the month of July 2023, you have to be very clever, because you as the couple are gonna be working on something. Maybe you're gonna look for some kind of contract, maybe you're gonna look to buy something big, maybe you're just gonna look to start something. Be very, very careful, because you're gonna be working on something that means so much to both of you, and then you are gonna reach out to someone, but then and it's more like temptation, like you will want to speed something up, but you're not being realistic. Certain things in life certain things in life, they take absolute ages, so you have to be realistic here, and there is some kind of temptation that you're both going to become aware of. You will want to speed up something which is absolutely impossible to speed up, and you're going to come across this bastard here, somebody with somebody who's not a nice person, somebody who's lying, somebody who's dishonest, and somebody who you're gonna think like this person is for some reason like kind of artistic, and but you're both gonna know that something is wrong, and you don't know who that person is. You don't know that person personally, you see what I mean? But you're both gonna feel, this is a temptation. You cannot kind of speed certain things up on one hand, and then on another hand, what this person is gonna try to tell you, they're gonna try to talk you into something, but you're both gonna know that something is wrong. But I think that that person is going to have a very, very strong energy, so you must not allow this energy to overtake, because if this strong energy overtakes, then people have got this ability and power to do things to other people through their strong energy, and then people feel completely hopeless, they can't do anything, and then later on, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have said this, I should have said that. It's one of those situations. For the love of God, if there is some kind of temptation that you're both aware of, just stay away. For the love of God, if you do realize that someone is not who they are, when you're trying to buy something or doing something or starting something, just walk away. And luckily, while I'm looking at these cards, I can see that you're gonna walk away, because what is gonna happen, the answer for what you're looking for, it's in someone who is loyal to you, both of you, some kind of a loyal friend, somebody who you know for such a long time, for your whole life. That's the answer. That's the person who's gonna be able to help you, a loyal friend, okay? Because that particular person is going to tell you what would be the wisest thing to do, because that particular person is not only a loyal friend, but is extremely knowledgeable. This particular person is extremely knowledgeable with what exactly you're trying to do. And for those of you who are single and ready to mingy, I mean, this is such a messy situation here, my gorgeous Sagittarini, because you know what, the bottom line is, yes, I think that you're gonna have a little bit of fun. Notice, Sagittarini, and I'm joking. I do think that you are going to have a bit of a fun, whatever you consider to be fun. But it's just basically when it comes to July, I do think that there is going to be some kind of a party or some kind of gathering, some kind of celebration is going to be going on. And I do think that you are going to have a very strong connection when it comes to this celebration with somebody. First first of all, you know, it's going to be fantastic connection that you're going to feel. You're going to feel really inspired. You're going to find this person very inspiring in so many different ways, and you're going to like this person. This person is going to like you, but this is only going to last for a short period of time. It's like very soon you're going to realize, like, oh my God, this is like almost like, not that this is not someone for you, but almost as if you're going to realize that this is like a hidden enemy here. Do you know what I mean? And that in itself, it's really kind of going to happen in such an unexpected way. And then, you know, you're going to realize something really big here. You're going to realize that, you know, you're still preoccupied. There is still a couple of things that you need to do and you need to finish before you are fully ready to let someone into your life. But this was actually really important, what is briefly going to happen with someone, my gorgeous Sagittarian. It's important because if that didn't happen, you wouldn't realize that you are not ready to kind of like maybe let someone in. But even most importantly, you wouldn't realize that there are aspects of your life that you need to finish first, because they are really draining your energy, and to the point where it's just making you not be ready for something like this. So it's only going to be quite good for you, because it's going to highlight what is preoccupying you in your life in general, and that in itself is going to highlight two important issues that you're going to need to deal with before you let someone into your life. So it's not going to happen in July, but August it's going to be like completely different. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarini, thank you ever so much for watching my video. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.